A grocery store sells sliced salami by weight. The relationship between the amount of salami in pounds, X, and the total cost in dollars of the sliced salami, Y, is represented by the graph below. A point, 8,44 is labeled below. Which statement about the graph is true? Hint, unit rate must always have a denominator of 1. Big idea with today's lesson. So they already told us the order pair is 8,44. That's my X value, that's my Y value. And remember that when we were dealing with slope, we would write it as Y over X. In this case, to find our rate, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put that my rate is equal to, my Y value is 44, so I'm going to put 44 over 8. But to get a unit rate, it must always have a denominator of 1. So in order to turn 8 into 1, I'm going to have to divide this whole fraction, both the numerator and denominator, by 8 over 8. 44, in this case dollars, divide by 8, that's going to give me 5.5. And then the goal, or the whole reason why, 8 divided by 8 is 1. And now this 5.5 over 1 is actually our unit rate. We just had to simplify 44 over 8. Now remember the context of the graph, that along the x-axis is the number of pounds. So right here, this is actually 1 pound. And then along the y-axis, this is the total cost in dollars. So in other words, $44 was for 8 pounds, whereas this is $5.50 per pound. So all we have to do is write the unit rate. So here we go. So if it's $5.50 per pound, actually, you know what? Let me, before I type that, I'm going to go ahead and add a 0 to this so it looks more like money. I know 5.5 is $5.50, but let's just make sure. Okay. So I'm going to say the unit rate is $5.50 per pound, and we should be done with this one. Let's see. The unit rate is $44 per pound. The unit rate is 8 pounds per dollar. Nope. The unit rate is 5.5 pounds per dollar. Getting creative, there's our 5.5, but that should be 5.50, so this is wrong. So this one is correct. It says the unit rate is 5.50 per pound. That's exactly what we wrote. We're good to go. Let's go to our next example. Naomi buys mobile games via an app store on her phone. The relationship between the number of games downloaded, X, and the total cost in dollars of downloads, Y, is represented by the graph below. A point, 2,5, is labeled below. Which statement about the graph is true? Hint, big idea, guys, unit rate must always have a denominator of 1. So over here, my X value is 2, my Y value is 5. Please remember that last week when we were dealing with slope, it's always Y over X, or in other words, rise over run. So to figure out the rate for this, I am putting rate is equal to 5 over 2. The unit rate must always have a denominator of 1, so in this case, to get rid of a denominator of 2, I will divide both the numerator and denominator by 2. So 5 divided by 2 is going to leave me with 2.5. And then the reason why is 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I have 2.5 per 1, or per unit. Now, the 5 over here, this is dollars. Notice that along our x-axis, these are games downloaded. Along the y-axis, it's dollars. So I could go ahead and say that it's $5 per 2 games, or my unit rate would be $2.50 per 1 game, or per game. So we'll go ahead and we'll type that in there. So the unit rate is $2.50 per game, and I think we're good to go. We just have to go ahead and make sure we have the unit rate is $5 per game. Nope, that would be $5 per 2 game, but that's not a unit rate. Again, $5 per 2 game is correct, but it's not a unit rate. A unit rate has to have a denominator of 1. The unit rate is 2.5 games per dollar. Nice job being creative, but no, it's $2.50. The unit rate is $2.50 per game. That looks like a good answer. And then the unit rate is 2 games per dollar. Nice try. And there you have it. So big idea, unit rate must always have a denominator of 1.